It had started out innocent enough. Deku was very sweet, and the Midoriya living room was quiet. The soft hum of the old All Might documentary playing in the background as you and Izuku sat side by side on the couch. The afternoon sun filtered through the curtains, casting warm golden rays across the worn carpet and the stack of textbooks you two had abandoned about an hour ago. Somehow, just one more practice quiz had turned into, let's have a break. And that break had consisted of lingering gazes and nervous laughter and finally, a kiss. You weren't even sure who really started it, or who leaned in first. It may have been you, but now that you think about it, maybe it was him. Whatever, it really didn't matter. What mattered was Izuku's hand was warm against your face, and his freckles seemed to glow under the light. His lips were soft and unsure, like he was kissing you for the first time. And in a way, he was. You'd been dancing around this for weeks, maybe months even, tiptoeing on the edge of something special, something more. When he finally pulled back just an inch, his face was red all over. His eyes were searching for yours like he was looking for permission, still afraid he'd crossed a line. You grinned, breathless. "Took you long enough?" you teased. Izuku laughed, nervously rubbing the back of his neck. I didn't want to rush anything. You mean a lot to me." "I know," you said gently, brushing the hair out of his eyes. "You mean a lot to me too." He looked like he was about to say something else, something probably sweet knowing him, but then your hand found his again and he leaned in this time. The kiss was more certain, more confident, as if the first one had confirmed everything he'd been feeling all along. And you were still kissing when the door clicked open. Neither of you had unfortunately heard it, and you didn't hear the sound of Inko Midoriya humming to herself as she kicked off her shoes, or the crinkle of the shopping bag she carried. You didn't even hear the soft little thud of her purse hitting the entryway on the bench, but you did hear the gasp. Oh my. You snapped your eyes open and Izuku froze like he'd been struck by the quirk. You both slowly turned towards the doorway of the living room, where Inko stood wide-eyed, holding a bag of vegetables in one hand and what looked like a loaf of bread in the other. Mom," Izuku stammered out, pulling away from you so fast he damn near fell off the couch. "You're home early?" I finished errands quicker than expected," she said, her voice extremely high-pitched and flustered. Her eyes darted between the two of you and then landed on her son's tomato red face. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt anything." You coughed, feeling your own cheeks heating up. "I miss Midoriya." She blinked, as if only now remembering you were a separate person and not just a part of whatever hormonal fusion she walked in on. "Oh, when? Hello, sweetheart." She gave a slightly manic little wave, the bag of groceries swaying wildly. You stood trying to smooth out your shirt. Sorry, we didn't mean for you to walk in on." No, it's okay," she rushed, quickly setting the groceries on the kitchen table and fanning herself. "You're both young and adorable, and it's totally fine." Izuku groaned and buried his face in his hands. "Oh my god." You bit your lip. I'm sorry, we really weren't trying to, I know, Inku waved you off. Again, now frantically arranging the produce like it had something just to do with her hands. "Just, maybe next time a little heads up, like a sock on the door or a note, or, I could start. I could knock. I should have knocked. I'll start knocking from now on." "Mom, you really don't have to," Izuku started, but his fingers were muffled by his voice. "I think knocking's a great idea," you offered, trying to ease all the tension. It's classic, efficient." "Exactly, see, she gets it." Inko smiled at you and then softened. "I'm sorry for barging in like that. I'm not used to Izuku having someone like this. It's sweet, it really is." Izuku groaned louder, practically sinking into the couch. "What?" she asked, clearly trying not to grin. "I'm just happy. It's not every day I see my son being all romantic, and you're such a lovely person, Wan. I always hoped he'd find someone kind and someone who understands how special he is." You smiled, your cheeks heating up and warming at that. He's really special to me, too. Inka looked like she might tear up. Oh, goodness, you're both just so precious. Okay, I'm going to pretend I didn't walk in on this tender and private moment, and I'm going to go finish putting these groceries away, and you two can go back to studying. Definitely studying, he said, trying to suppress a grin. Yeah, lots of studying, Izuku mumbled behind his hands. Crick! Inko chirped, already heading towards the kitchen. Just keep the door open! You and Izuku exchanged a glance, and after a beat of silence, you both glanced out and burst into laughter. I'm never going to recover from that, he muttered, flopping back onto the couch. I mean, it could have been worse, you said with a shrug, nudging him. She could have taken a picture. Izuku let out a horrified noise. Please don't give her any ideas. You grinned, leaning in closer again, so your shoulders could touch this time. Guess we've been outed, huh? He sighed. Finally, after what seemed like a lifetime, lowering his hands and smiling sheepishly. Yeah, but I don't really mind that she knows, you know? I'm actually kind of glad she knows. Me too, he said, smiling, as he turned to meet your eyes again. This time, it was just as soft as before, but somehow seemed a little bit more tender than before. You didn't kiss again. Not right away, at least. You didn't really need to. His hand had somehow found yours, and your fingers intertwined naturally, the scars on his hands rubbed against your soft skin, as if they'd been waiting a long time for this moment to finally happen. From the kitchen, you could hear Inko quietly humming cheerfully, probably to herself, or maybe just loudly enough to drown out any other teenage activities. The rest of the day stretched ahead like a quiet promise. You didn't need to rush, because you had time. You were both very young, and his mom had just walked in on you, but listen, you had time. You had lots and lots and lots of time. And you'd probably figure out what to do with it then. And how to invest in some logs.